Alright folks, so today we're going to go over the Commander Luke Skywalker Light Side Geo team and kind of why I believe that they are the best non-Galactic Legend team that you can have for Light Side Geo. Just based on how consistently you can at least get a 3 or 4, and I'm going to hopefully show you how you can get a consistent 4 or 4. This team used to not be so good. This team back in the day was awful. Even if you had Commander Luke, Chewbacca, and Han Solo, even R2-D2, C-3PO, all at high levels, it just wasn't very consistent. So with the introduction of 3PO and Chewie, or Chewpio, 3-pack, whatever you want to call him, the squad got a huge boost just from the kit that Chewpio brings to the table, through just the blind and the turn meter that he gives, the fact that he does a AoE 5 times, and this is huge as well. Just the crit avoidance, the fact that he gets so much stats from the leader and everything. He is what makes this team possible. So I'm gonna go over mods real quick. I will put a link to the snapshot of what all my mods look like, but I'll just go over them real quick here for you. Commander Luke is pretty simple, just speed set across the board. I used to run this crit avoidance arrow on him, but turns out you actually do not need that at all. The reason for that being because he's going to be the one with guard from Chewbacca, you are unable to be critically hit while you have Chewbacca's guard. So there's no point to have a crit avoidance arrow on him. Someone pointed that out to me, and kind of just goes to show that you can even throw more speed on Commander Luke, and it just makes the team even better. His triangle is pretty standard. You can do crit chance, crit damage, doesn't really matter. You just want him to be fast as possible. I like the potency cross on him just because you want those dots sticking and being able to take away turn meter. I throw a health circle where I can. When I started running low on health circles, that's when I switched over to protection circles. But that's mainly just 3PO and Han. Speaking of Chewpio, though, you want him to have an offense set because he scales the most with offense. So you're going to have a speed arrow, an offense triangle, offense cross, health circle. For 3PO, you want to have a speed set. You want 3PO as fast as you possibly can get him. And just speed arrow, highest speed triangle that's not on one of your other characters that fits him, and a potency cross. For Chewbacca, you want Chewbacca to be as healthy as possible because you do not want Chewbacca to die. If Chewbacca dies for any reason, he's your 5s of the Commander Luke team, but you really don't want him to die, because if he dies, you lose guard on Commander Luke and Han, and you lose a lot of attacking out of turn. You lose the crit avoid, the cannot be critically hit, and it just will all go downhill. So speed arrow. I have a critical damage triangle on him, but you can just go with a defense or a health or whatever triangle you want here, just because you want him thick. You can get away with damage here, but it doesn't really matter. Offense here, just because I don't have a good health cross that I can put in that stead, because tenacity is not going to be useful, and all those other things are not going to be useful. And then, of course, a health circle. Han, you want to have an offense or a critical damage set, just so he's hitting hard, because he's going to be attacking the most other than Chewpio. You want him to have a speed arrow, critical damage triangle, offense cross, and then a preferably health circle, but this protection circle would just fit the bill. So that's about it for mods. This is one of the teams where order does matter a little bit, but not too much. I put Chewpio here. For some lineups, you do not want Chewpio to be after Chewbacca, because the way that the game goes is the leader ability goes out first. It applies to all characters on a team. Then it goes individually through each character's unique abilities. So you're going to get CLS's leadership ability applied to everybody. Then you're going to get the rest of his uniques. Then you're going to get Chewpio's, then so on and so forth. So Chewpio gets stat shares from Commander Luke. So if you have a really strong Commander Luke and a not as strong Chewpio, like let's say that you had a Relic 5 Commander Luke and a Gear 12 Chewpio, which I've seen people do a 4/4 with less than that of this team. If you put them in the wrong order, like let's say that you did this instead of getting the stat share before the guard, CLS's uniques will go, but then Chewbacca's guard will go, and the guard, if Chewpio is weaker than CLS, and it's determined by health and protection, if he's weaker, the guard will end up on Chewpio instead of Commander Luke, and you don't want that to happen. You want Commander Luke to have the guard. So for that purpose, that's why we put Chewpio here. I also like putting him here because we're going to call him to assist with C-3PO a lot. So this is the like front and center spot. So that's why we put him there. The other two don't really matter where they go. And honestly, the rest of these don't really matter. You just need Chewbacca at some point after Chewpio in this lineup. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So the main thing for this is you want to go bottom side on phase 1 for this, because phase 1 you're less likely to run into General Grievous, to the point of I don't think that you can. I've run multiple light side Geos over the past years, and I've yet to run into a General Grievous on the bottom side zone. This team gets eaten alive by General Grievous because General Grievous prevents counterattacks, which is all that this team does. Because of that, you always want to focus the highest damage character on the lineup. So for this, that's Spy, but I can't get to Spy because he's stealth. So the next target that I want to go for is B1s. So I'm going to open up by shooting the crap out of B1, and then Commander Luke will go. Commander Luke, you almost never, ever, ever want to hit his call to action thing, unless you absolutely have to. The reason for this is because of what he gets and what he loses. So when he gets call to action, when he has the little buff, he gets 50% accuracy, crit chance, and crit damage, which is great. But if you have his Zeta, which is learn control, well, he doesn't have call to action. He has 50% counter chance, 50% crit avoidance, which doesn't really matter. He has guard. 50% defense, 100% tenacity, and gains 10% turn meter when another rebel ally takes damage. These guys are going to attack you a lot, so he's going to get a lot of turn meter. So you don't ever want to hit this unless you need to get around a taunt. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to actually basic and just get that guy out of there. Now, I almost always put this on Chewpio because I want Chewpio to get translation so he can start rolling. So we're going to control the field a little bit here. Stun didn't land, but that's fine. We're just going to keep getting turn meter fed. Now, almost always you want to do the blind when it's up because it's just so good. So we're going to do that. Go ahead and stun the Spy just so he doesn't yeet anyone. Okay, we got lucky. So we're going to push back some turn meter on this one back here because this one's blinded. So we're going to push back some turn meter. We're going to just light them up. Cool. Magna Guard's going to do his thing. And that's a little taste of the counterattacking that you're going to get with this team. Magna Guard was at full. He did an AoE, and everyone went back and attacked him. So you'll see in a little bit why that's going to be so good for us. And we're going to go ahead and do this because you want to try and do this whenever you can kill something because it ramps up his offense whenever he kills an enemy this way. It also does damage multiple times, so it's really good if you have to do it with a droid battalion as well. So we're just going to clean this up. Doesn't really matter if we use that other ability because he's going to shoot first anyway. So going into here, we're still getting pretty lucky with these lineups. So this is the hardest hitting target here. So we're just going to go all in on the sniper droid. He's stunned now, so we're going to knock some stacks off this B1, call in Chewpio. We're going to beat up the sniper droid a little bit more. All right, that thing's going to die. So it's kind of a waste to do the blind right now because they have so low turn meter. So we're just going to auto. We're going to smack the ground. And we're going to knock those stacks off. So these guys don't really do too much just because for whatever reason they don't do the special too much, but these guys always do the special in my cases, so I like to stun them over the others. Someone could prove me wrong, but that's just what I do. A little confirmation bias. So we're just going to spread some debuffs around, spread some love. We don't really need a blind right now, so we're just going to auto. We'll stun you. Shoot you up. And the reason why I'm jumping around and not really killing anyone off is I kind of want to increase his offense, while at the same time, Han pushes back turn meters, so I'm targeting guys that have a lot of turn meter and are about to take a turn. And this team just does so much damage that they just proceed to run over a lot of the guys anyway, so everyone's just basic. Alright, cool. So that's wave 2 down, and I think I got attacked once by a spy. So it kind of shows the power of this team. And this is a great show. This one's going to be a great showcase. This is sometimes what you get as a wave 1 turnout. And everyone always gets scared of B2s, and rightfully so, because every other team out there wants to kill the B2s as fast as possible. Commander Luke is not so much because of the counterattacks through the team. So instead, what do? We're going to point out the hardest hitting target, which is going to be this stupid droideka, and we're going to light him up. Now, B2 is going to get pissed off and get some auto attacks, and you just want to keep on pissing off B2 in any way, shape, or form that you can. So we're gonna do a little smack the ground, and B2 basically kills himself by AoEing your team. So we're just gonna keep on going in just because Droideka's stunned. Let's spread some love over here a little bit. And then we're going to do this now because we're going to kill off Droideka and B1 and stack up that offense. Very nice. I don't like these guys when I see them, just because I found out about this ability with the armor shred and that it keeps on doing more damage, and enemies defeated by this ability can't be revived. Not so pertinent to this team, but it is pertinent to running your Jedi and your clones, so just be aware of that. So we're gonna spread some love around, keep going. We're just gonna kill this off, and we're gonna reset the pulverize cooldown. I'm gonna push back some turn meter, shoot him up, do a little wave, and he's dead. Alright, so now the 3 bosses that you tend to get down here, because you can't get General Grievous, is a regular tactical droid, which, congratulations, you're going to get an easy wave 4. The next one that you can get is Geos, which is a little annoying, but because this team has a lot of AoE and control, and the fact that Commander Luke is a counter to Geos in the rest of the game, in here it's pretty easy as well. Kalani is actually the hardest boss that you can get for CLS down in this zone, just because he has a revive, he has a mass assist, and the fact he can do this and give these guys super stacks, because this is his basic and then these two are specials. The big thing for Kalani, though, is the fact he has this, which basically says you can't take out more than one stack of a B2 or B1 while Kalani is alive. So if I was to shoot B1, Han double taps, so that should, in a normal wave, that would bring him down to 52 and then 44. But because of Kalani's passive, that will only go to a 52. So that actually ruins the whole getting B2s to kill themselves, because if they AoE and we all counterattack on him, he's still only going to lose one stack. So usually what I end up doing if I get Kalani as my boss is I just go straight in on Kalani, because this team will kill him pretty quickly, and once he's dead, the rest of the group just falls over. So the whole goal is to just kill him before the rest of the team can kill you. So we're just going to go all in on Kalani. They're going to do their thing. We only lose one stack over there. We're going to keep going in on Kalani, and he's dead. So now that Kalani's dead, now Magna's going to get destroyed. We're just going to go in on B1 over here, because this thing's going to auto-attack or AoE us and then going to die itself. Why not? Just because we're done, I'll go ahead and do that. And there you go. That is how you get probably the easiest 404 of your life. There's a couple of times when if you're not controlling the field correctly and you're not pushing back turn meter where you have to, where it can get a little dicey. But as long as you just think it through, go after the highest damage target. Once it's controlled with a stun or it has no turn meter or it's dead, then move on to the next target or whoever has the most turn meter. And that is probably the easiest way that you can get a 404 with Commander Luke.